What's going on, y'all? Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you'd like to donate to the channel, the Cash App's at the top right corner of the video. But let's get into it, man, because we got to talk about Rayvon. Rayvon had recently did an interview with Ebro, and he had talked about the beef with Joey Badass. So we want to take a look here and see what it is that he said. Real quick shout out to Rayvon. Just want to put that out there right now. I had reacted to his mixtape on live the other day, The Good, the Bad, the Dollar Menu. And he tapped into the live, bro. He tapped into the bill. Shout out to Rayvon. If you're watching this, salute. But let's take a look and see what it is that Rayvon had said.
He's got a new album out, and we're talking about the Joey Badass situation. And there is a cultural difference. In New York, people talk shit without it actually going somewhere. So when Joey did, too much West Coast dick licking, I was like, oh, he advancing himself just off of a Jay-Z quote. You took it different.
It wasn't just that though. That was just like, that's cool, but you knew what that line was gonna do. I feel like as entertainers and as we scale, you pay more attention to what you put in the music. You pay way more attention because you're like, I don't want to offend this. They're gonna take this out. This might not get playlisted. You pay way more attention. So when you do that, you put a target on your back. And the West Coast is like we got a Mortal Kombat ladder. It's like you ain't just gonna get all the way up there to die. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? And he was taking shots indirectly. So I just took shots directly. Right. And this is how you do it.
I was very, as far as the rap whole thing, I was happy with Joey did. I was happy with your response for the.
Why? Why would you happy with what Joey did?
Well, I was happy with it because I feel like I took the song as him trying to motivate people in New York to be like, yo, what the fuck are y'all doing?
Oh, that's how you heard it?
Yeah, I heard it like, yo, what the fuck are y'all doing? These dudes is getting to these lyrics. What exactly is happening out here? Why are we not getting to these lyrics?
What do you take your arms are too short to box the Elohim? Who else is the Elohim?
Well, yeah, you're right about him playing with Kendrick, but out here, that's still, once again, your arms are too short to box with God.
I'm a TDE baby, so I'm gonna take that personally, period.
By the way, I get that. For this side of things, people hear that as your arms too short to box with God, Elohim. But it is a shot. You're absolutely right. So that's why I say I liked it. Like you were supposed to, I think it was intended to be.
He closer to me than he is to Kendrick.
Say again?
He closer to me than he is to Kendrick.
In his career.
In his career.
I mean, so
musically.
I think he may have something to say about that after this conversation.
So it's not a lie. One is closer to none.
So let me ask you this: outside, it's not problematic outside.
Hell
rap. Like,
no. It's just rap. It's just rap. It's all rap.
Nah, Rayvon is popping the shit, bro. He's letting Joey know, hey, bro, if you want to get into a lyrical battle, you want to keep it on wax with anybody, it's got to be Rayvon, bro. You got to go through Rayvon before you could even get to Kendrick Lamar. I think Joey got to get through Rayvon, probably Ab-Soul, J-Rock, Schoolboy Q, before you could even get to Kendrick Lamar, bro. You got quite a few lists of people to go through before you could even get to that point. But Rayvon is definitely a contender, man. Don't count Rayvon out, bro. He be knowing the game. He knows what he's doing when he says those lines. When you talk about the Elohim, when you talk about things like that, you know what's going to happen. You know the cause and effect of that. Ebro's trying to say he did it on purpose. But Rayvon doesn't want to hear any of that. He's shutting everything down real quick. I think him saying that Joey is closer to him than to Kendrick is very important because Rayvon has just put a project out recently. And he's showing you where his skill set lies right now. Joey has only dropped a few songs. And they've only gained momentum because he's created conflict with Kendrick Lamar, throwing subliminals and involving himself, trying to insert himself in this beef. Ebro trying to tackle this like it's an East Coast, West Coast thing. I think that's the whole problem. But the point is, Joey has a long way to go to even be a contender with Kendrick Lamar. Rayvon drops a project proving that there's competitors from TDE, from the camp, and from the site that you had just slided, PG Lang, TDE, all that. You have individuals from there like Rayvon dropping projects and showing you that your competitors and your peers are either passing you by or coming close to you. So when I think that Rayvon says that they're more closer to each other than he is to Kendrick, I think he's making a valid point. Joey's been out the game for too long. And I think that was the whole issue when Joey had inserted himself. Like, where have you been at? And Rayvon was quick to call him out and crash out Heritage. He said, what's with the sneak diss and taking shots at us, then hide the Uzi? Because the only badass the world was recognizing is Boozy. Please don't get confused with shooting the movies we really shooting. Was on Soul album, so if you ask me, you look like a goofy. And obviously Joey Badass being the person that he's talking about on Ab-Soul's album Herbert for the song Moon Shooter. Good song, by the way. W album. Shout out Ab-Soul. Shout out Herbert. I hope this message reaches you well. And Tory, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because DDG needed to sell. You did a verse from a cell. Before you went to jail, in the booth, me and you was Keenan and Kel. Now, what's crazy about this bar is the news that came out now. Because I'm going to do a video talking about how streamers are trying to be rappers. But just to show you really quick, this bar aged so well. Shout out Rayvon. Because let me show you right now that DDG is actually trying to sell an album and he's having trouble with his sales. It says here, DDG started stressing after finding out his new album, Blame the Chat, has only sold 400 units in 4 days since being released on every streaming platform. Despite having a large audience and going live in front of thousands of people, he was only able to sell 400 units in 4 days.
Currently on pace to sell 400 copies first week. Looking spooky for us, y'all.
How many copies are you supposed to sell? 20. Wait. What's your goal to sell?
20. 19,600 away. Got 3.
There's no way.
So despite the Tory Lanez feature, despite being a big streamer with a large audience, it looks like Rayvon's lyrics aged really well right here because DDG reached out to Tory Lanez, needed help to sell, and called Tory from a cell. And even after all of that, it still didn't go well. And Rayvon called him and Tory's bluff, as well as Joey too, because why would you go against them when you were just on Soul's album? It looks crazy. Shout out to Absol. Not only that, but Rayvon ends up talking about the project. He talks about it. Ebro asked a few questions. He asked him why he decided to drop a mixtape instead of an album. I'll play the clip right now.
This isn't actually an official album.
Yeah, no, it's a mixtape.
So tell me why you're putting that much detail into something that's quote unquote a mixtape. Because normally I see artists that are just kind of like, oh, there's some dope shit.
I feel like first person who was doing stuff like that was like 50.
Yeah.
And that's like one of my favorite artists, period.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like me just setting the tone. Like right now, that's what it is. It's like setting the foundation of who I am so people can understand this is what I come from.
Yeah.
You know, this is stuff about me. And I feel like that's a lost art in the music business right now. Like people don't care as much about telling personal. They're not as vulnerable as we used to get it. Like I digest music differently and I'll be like, oh, cool. I listen to your project. I don't know nothing about you.
Right.
But since we off the gate and that's what I'm good at, that's my pepperoni pizza. I feel like people gonna come to me for that. So it's like, let's just start off the gate just like that.
Yeah.
When they hear it, they're gonna be like, damn, he really put everything in this. And if this is just a mixtape, what is his album gonna sound like?
I think expressing yourself and being personal with the audience is something that a lot of people don't do. And I agree with the message that he's saying here. That's the reason why one of the tracks that hit the most on the album is Flat Shasta, bruh. Flat Shasta was like a real emotional song for me to hear. A very amazing song, and I recommend anybody to go check it out, bro. I could just feel the raw emotion. I could relate to it. I understand. And that's what I like, bro. I like when I hear a record, bro, and I could just feel the pain, bro. Trying to connect with the audience, trying to reach with the people, man. But also on some turn-up shit. The next record's a banger. You know what I mean? It just goes from banger to all these deep cuts, bro. It's an amazing mixtape. And it's like he said, just wait for the album because if you think this is good, the album going to be even better. But big shout out to Rayvon. I appreciate him tapping into the live when we were reacting to his album. I hope to hear more from him soon. I know he said he has something coming soon when he hit us up. Make sure y'all go tap in. Make sure y'all go spin it, stream it, do everything that you can to support it. You're not going to be disappointed, bro. I appreciate everybody tapped in, bro. Shout out Rayvon. Shout out TDE. Everybody from the camp, bro. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the next video, man. Peace. Keep it a legend.